stand up, I get up. Mapili moya shona kona. Shobuluza focus, come on, be a go-getter. Ashona kona, stay focused. Opportunities, you gotta get this, you gotta fight this skills.
Getting waza weekday bafethu up on Tuesday uyazi 1:30 intandokazi yeni bafethu iSpani ngithi gama umephelele lishumo awuthi ngime kancane ngamanqoko ngithobe nginkulu inhlonipho ngikusanko samakhaya ngithi sanibonani and a salute to all my hustlers angisapholisanga amaseko awuthi ngihlale edabeni ngindlale phansi ke icareer lapha na ku media bafethu emhlawumbe wona lapha ekhaya ungahle uyithanda uhambe uyefundela khona ke uzokhona ungena kulomkhakha ngithi ke ihustle samvana namhlanje uLloyd insizwa ke elobe push focus bafethu njoba ke efuna ukuzakhela ke icareer lapha njenge layout artist bafethu izinto zakhe ke azabe shibile njengobhotela kuze ube manje njoba ke insizwa ke ibe yabhekana ke nama physical challenges ngithi ke hlale phansi sithi umazi kangcono ayibike ukuthi uqhamuka kwesiphi isigodi ngithi sitshela ukuthi uqhamuka kephi nokuthi uyanga kephi. Name Lloyd Magano, age 31, education matric, tertiary qualification national diploma graphic design.
I was born in Johannesburg on the 26th of July, 1984. I grew up in a place called Yeovil. That's where I attended my primary school, Yeovil Boys Primary School. And then on I went to King Edward VII School to do my secondary education. And then I matriculated in the year 2003. And I went to UJ to go study for my graphic design, national diploma in graphic design. Now I finished that in the year 2007, and then from then on I've just been in the industry working for various companies. As I was growing up, I wanted to become a pilot, funny enough, but then I realized that, this is not for me. Obviously, maths was my weakest link when it comes to maths, so I realized that won't happen. The lucky thing was that I was good with drawings and stuff. I used to sketch my favorite characters like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a whole lot of various cartoons. And in biology classes, people used to ask me to draw the diagrams for them. So I didn't know exactly what I could do with my art, but I knew I needed to do something relating to art itself, Working for these various companies, I learned quite a great deal of stuff, a great deal of skills. I once worked for this printing company. They taught me, I didn't really know much in depth about printing, but they kind of schooled me more on printing and different various methods that you can use to print and different styles of, they taught me a lot of stuff when it comes to paper and, things. There's some paper that cannot handle certain kind of inks. I learned a whole lot of stuff when it comes to that. Hemophilia is like a chronic disorder. My parents discovered it when I was about, when I started crawling. I don't know which age you start crawling. I'm not familiar with that. But I was crawling, and then obviously when you crawl, you fall, you get bruises. So then my parents were concerned. They took me to hospital and did a series of blood tests, and then discovered that I have this thing called hemophilia. Well, with hemophilia, you need to really take care of yourself. You cannot do sports and contact sports like your rugby, your boxing, your soccer and things like that. And you need to really take care of yourself, because otherwise your physical your physical well-being could be like threatened, you know. Not be able to play sports, it did like kind of like chip away my confidence, so to put it, you know, because you can't play soccer, and that's usually what boys and guys really do. They play soccer, they play rugby and things like that, and you cannot participate in that. I had a coping mechanism because I had to accept, you know, like that I cannot do other things, like coming to like rugby and soccer and things like that. You sort of like embrace that pain, you make it a part of you, and you become stronger. So that's what kept me going forward, you know. I mean, I could easily just like stay home and live on a disability grant, but that's not what I want to do, you know. I've got dreams, I've got passions, there's things that I really want to pursue. That's what keeps me going forward. You know, you should never give up as a person. I derive my inspiration from such examples, from sites from like DeviantArt and Pinterest and things like that really help with the creative process to enable me to reach my goal. In the next 5 years, I'd love to be running my own little like creative studio, possibly in Rustenburg, my hometown, to like groom other up and coming artists, graphic designers, to teach them more about graphic design, because it's not really that common in Rustenburg. I'd love to branch out into there and show the youth what is it all about.
Ngingasithathi kancane bafethu manje sibone ema-TV emaphepheni komagazini sokusikhathi ukuthi uLloyd laphana ayoduma laphana azenzele igama khona laphana eBona magazine okuyi-weekly magazine ke ethandwa kakhulu khona la eMzansi. Ngithi asimbone uLloyd abakhombisa his point of view laphana ku-interview.
Hi Lloyd, thank you so much for coming to see us today. It's very nice to have you here.
Thank you for welcoming me through for an interview.
Yeah, sure. My name is Linda Mali. I'm the editor of Bona.
Nice to meet you.
I just want to tell you a little bit about the magazine before we go ahead, just so that you know some brief background. Bona is published by Caxton Magazines. It's one of 12 mags in the stable. And of course, the magazine is the only one that's published in 4 South African languages. Okay, so we're in Sotho, Zulu, Xhosa, and English as well. So it's one of the things that we're very proud of in the magazine. And so basically we are looking for a layout artist, someone who's going to be able to understand the target market and be able to visually illustrate the magazine in a way that is relatable and understandable to our readership. So what we're looking for is someone who's going to be able to, match visuals to the text that we've got, understand the stories, and then also create mood boards and things like that for our photo shoots and do a bit of editing as well. So can you tell me a little bit about your work experience?
Oh well, my work experience, I've worked for numerous companies. I've worked for other publishing companies. I've done a little bit of magazine layout there, and then my previous company that I've worked for, it was more of a travel and tourism company, but I was like more like the in-house, part of the in-house designers who used to do things like flyers, layout of brochures, logos and stuff like that.
What do you think are the key characteristics that a layout artist should have?
The key characteristics a layout artist should have is that that person should have a good eye, for design, and create like interesting layouts for magazines, so to put it.
Who do you think, when you think about the Bona reader, who do you think that person is? What is their life about? Can you tell me a bit about that?
The Bona reader, I would say, is like it's women. But well, depends. They could be into cooking and shopping, just general life, also relationship issues as well.
Okay. The way that the team is structured in the design department is that you would report into the art director, who then reports into me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give you 3 tasks for the day, just to test your abilities and see where you're at. The first one we'll do is we'll probably look at your layout techniques, of course, which is the most important. We'll give you a piece of text and ask you to source images and create a layout of that. And then we're also going to look at your mood board skills, how good you are at sort of collating images to evoke a certain feeling that we're trying to get across in a shoot, be it a fashion shoot or a cover shoot. And then finally, we're also going to look at your editing skills. It's not exactly straight down the line a design capability per se, but for the purposes of our magazine and what we're looking for, we need somebody who's going to be able to take bits of footage that we collect and just edit it into a video that's got pace, that's got life, and that's quite exciting for our especially our online users in the YouTube space, etc. So I'll introduce you to Nikita and we can get that going.
I'm up for it.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask about the magazine, about the company, or the position required?
I just have like 2 or 3 questions. I'd just like to know like how many are there in the team, like as the magazine as a whole? As a
magazine, we are a team of 20, which is quite a big team when you consider the size of an average magazine team these days. But of course, we have in-house translators that are full-time in the magazine space with us, who translate the magazine into the other languages.
Okay, and then do you know like what kind of software they would use to like create the magazine itself?
Yeah, for the design of the magazine, we work with InDesign. Currently, we're working on CS6, which I think is the version just before CS7, which is out now. But yeah, we work on InDesign. Are you familiar with the program?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Okay, perfect, because that's what we use. All right, so once we have gone through the various tasks for you today, we're going to sit and just evaluate your abilities and then have a catch up with you again at the end of the day to see whether or not the job is going to be suitable for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mahaslase, tsela e le nngwe fela ya go hlola di challenges tsa bophelo ba hao le ha ekaba di physical challenges ke go amohela. Go amohela ha go tshore o latlhela toulo empa ke go utlwisisa gore dilo di ka tsela eo di leng ka yona ene go na le engwe tsela eo ka isalang morago gore o gone go tswela pele ka bophelo ba hao. Loite o wile hantle ka experience ha go interview empa ha a araba tse ding tsa dipotso ka tshwanelo pele o ka araba potso e utlwisise di key characteristics tsa mosebetsi di bua gore mosebetsi o tlameha gore ebe motho ya mofuta mang ha e gore o tlameha gore a etseng pele o ya interview etsa research company eo e etsa eng for bomang jwang Loite ha aba specific o ne a tlameha go tlhalosa re basadi ba mofuta o feng ba go tswa kae ba di le mo difeng ha re gutla re sheba layout ya bophelo ba Loite le gore ana e ka motswetsa pele industry ena ya di magazine.
Ngitsinsiza iyayifaka indandatho ngoba iyawushada lo mkhakha uthi he likes it and he's putting a ring on it njoba ke insiza ithi he's married to his dreams ngithi ke sesimazi kangcono bafethu njoba sikhombisa ukuthi noma ungakhubazeka bafethu ayikho into engakuhlula kodwa nje ufuna ukuyazi ukuthi ama layout artist ayenza umuphi umsebenzi kahle kahle njoba ngithi asibheke lapha ku sector overview as I give you lessons on lessons on lessons.
Graphic designer, layout artist. Ngabe ukhona umehluko phakathi kwaloko okubili na? Yebo, ukhona umehluko. Noma umuncane nje, kodwa kuya ngokuthi usebenza kusiphi isigaba. Zombili zisebenza ngezithombe kanye nemibhalo emaphephandabeni, ezincwadini, kuma-websites kanye nezinye inhlobo zokukhangisa njengama-posters abhaliwe kanye namanye angabhalwanga. Kodwa-ke i-layout artist yona iqondana ngokulandelana kwama-page encwadini kunendlela abhalwe ngayo. Bese kuthi ama-graphic designers wona asebenza ukwengeza amakhono abo ngokudweba kulowo msebenzi osovele wenziwe. Ukwenza umsebenzi othandekayo ukona okuzenza ukuthi uthole umsebenzi kulolu hlangothi. Kukuwe-ke ukuthi umsebenzi wakho uthandekile, phinde ukwazi ukwenza nalokho okubhaliwe ukuthi kube melula ukufundeka. Lokhu ukwenza ngokusebenzisa indlela ezihlakaniphile ezidingekile zokuqedela umsebenzi ekhasini ngalinye ukwenza umsebenzi ubukeke umuhle uphinde uthandeke uma usuhlukanisiwe namanye amakhasi ukwazi ukukhanga amehlo. Kubuye ngawe ukuthi uyakwazi na ukuhlayisa kahle umsebenzi wakho. Lesithombe singaba sihle uma simnyama noma simhlophe. Ngabe imibhalo uzokhona ukufundeka kumitha eyodwa noma amabili? Ngabe uzokhona ukukhanga abantu uma umbhalo ubhalwe ngombala oluhlaza noma obomvu? Futhi-ke kumele wenze umsebenzi ohambelana nomthetho waleyo nkampani oyisebenzelayo. Amakhompyutha asashintshe kakhulu indlela okwenziwa ngayo lo msebenzi. Esenza umsebenzi ube melula ukwenzeka akusafani nakudala njengoba bekwenziwa nje. Kodwa lokho kusho ukuthi uzodinga ube nolwazi lokusebenzisa ikhompyutha kulo msebenzi. Lona ngumsebenzi ongawuthokozela uma ungumuntu othanda amakhono, kodwa ungabuye ube nzima njalo. Futhi kumele ube ngumuntu owaziyo ukunakisisa kahle izinto uma esebenza.
Hoba layout artist o hloka national diploma kapa bachelor's degree le ka hodimo. O lokela ho bana le bokgoni ba ho nahanela pele, o be creative haholo. Senior certificate sa exemption se ka ho dumella for degree. Senior certificate fela o ka etsa diploma. Ha o di subjects compulsory empa art le technical drawing ke tse ding tsa di subjects tse leng hore o ka di sheba. O ka etsa tse ding tsa di professional certificate kapa wa ithutela di software training hore o kgone go sebetsa lefapheng lena.
Sithi uyabasaba na uthi hayi akabasabi uyabafuna njengoba ke uLord abangena abakhombisa uqumbi isibindi akasabi lutho njengoba ke insizwa ekuyanqoba ngaphambeleni. So ukuchaza ke abantu abalaphana ku editorial team noma ke istaff sakhona laphana eBona bafethu ngithi kumele kube amanzi amancane. Ngithi Lord, be the best designer you can be because you're simply the best.
My name is Nikita and I'm the art director at Bona magazine. I've been working here almost 2 years and yeah, it's been a pretty amazing job. It's really exciting. You get to meet really cool people, celebrities all the time. I studied at Rhodes University in Grahamstown and I did a Bachelor of Journalism, but I focused on communication design. So I started off learning about newspapers and then from there went to magazines and that's how I ended up at Bona. Okay, Lloyd, this is your first task. Okay. It's a layout called Seeing on a Star. And basically, it's just a briefs page where it's one page and it's the star and then a whole bunch of items that she would wear. So, yeah, the template's on the repository if you have any questions.
I'm free to ask, okay.
All right, cool.
Cool.
I've given Lloyd a layout called Scene on a Star, which is just a brief layout. It's one page, and there's an actress or some celebrity and items that she would wear. So ideally, you need to showcase the celebrity and the clothing. And what I want is for there to be enough space. I want the items to really shine by themselves, and I want just good navigation to go through the page.
When starting a new layout, I look for the images first, and then obviously those images are supposed to match the text first, because I usually get the text first, but you look for the images first, and then you look at your reference depending what kind of layout you are working on, and then you work it from there. The things you're supposed to look out for while designing a layout is that you need to keep your text within the grid, the printing grid. There's like a page, and there's a certain grid that you're supposed to stay within, and then you need to pay attention to the size of your images and the quality for printing, obviously for printing purposes. You don't want to have images that are very blurry or pixelated when you're printing out your final product.
So with print magazines, it's not doing so great for everyone because Media24, a lot of their magazines have shut down. But with Caxton, we're actually doing really well. Borna's getting 100,000 readers a month, which is fantastic. But you have to take it one day at a time, because it's also about advertising. It's not just about who's buying, it's not just about your content. So you have to take everything into account. But the thing is, we are moving to the digital space, so we have digital copies of our magazine available, and that's where everything's heading, having print and having digital, and the combined revenue of those two.
In my opinion, I see the magazine industry becoming more electronic, because people are really trying to cut down on costs of printing, and to be going for a more green approach, so to put it. So people, I think we're gearing towards like an e-book. I don't know if you can call it that, yeah. That wouldn't really affect my career as such, because then again, you still need to design it. It still needs to be designed. The same principles still apply on the design of the magazine. I think I'm done.
Okay, yeah, that looks really nice. Yeah, I like the way that you've laid it out with the spaces in between. It's really spacious and you can read it. I would just say make her a little bit more in the focus, because it is about the star as well. So maybe make her a little bit bigger, not so cropped.
And you're also selling these wrapping things around. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, but apart from that, it's really nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I did exceptionally well, because it was a simple task. It's layout. It's what I can do best,
Mosebetsing o ithuta ka nako tsotlhe. Ha ntse o sebetsa di-company tse fapaneng kapa mafapeng a fapaneng, di-basic study skills tsa hao di ka tshwana, empa di-outcomes ha di tshwane. Ha o etsa graphic designing o sebedisa computer, o tlo sebedisa technology le di-software tse sa tshwaneng go bopa ditshwantsho tsa hao. Ko mosebetsing wa hao, sheba gore ana batho ba bang ba sebetsa yang, ikamanye le batho kapa di-events tse tsamaisanang le se o se etsang gore o kgone ho fumana tsebo. Ha re khutla, Mac o re naya iSpani Q, our hustler o tswela pele ka di-tasks tsa hae.
Kiri bona retsa ngijoba silafana ke ebona magazine samba naye uLloyd Magano insizwa ke okuyi layout artist bafethu ifuna ukushaya ke ama cutting edge cover page designs khona lapha ke ebona magazine. Speaking of cutting, let's cut to our Spani Q sesakule viki bafethu. Umbuzo wethu uhamba kanje. How many months in a year have 28 days? How many months in a year have 28 days? Gets you don't have a whole month to give us your answers bafethu. So sheshisa ke uthumela ku umqhafazo. Khona manje sami sobona uLloyd adlala ngomqondo a conceptualize khona lapha ku task yakhe.
Okay, Lloyd, for the next thing, I need you to do a mood board, which is basically putting ideas together about a shoot. So if we were to do a cover with a star that's just up and coming, and she's coming up right now, and you just want to showcase her beauty and her star power, and we need an idea to really portray that. So
and you need like color palettes, etc.
Exactly, yeah. So I've got some magazines here, and you can flag ideas and things like that, but you can also just jot down your own ideas. You must have seen plenty layouts, so yeah, and just pitch it to me afterwards.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll get right on to it. Thanks.
A mood board is basically a place where you put all your ideas. It's like one of those maps that you use when you're young to brainstorm. It's the same thing but with images and colors, and so basically it's the mood that you want to depict for the reader when you're shooting your any fashion shoot or cover shoot, even food shoots. You need a theme. You need to be able to just sort of know what shots you want, what sort of locations, just the general theme and feel of the whole shoot.
I have done mood boards many times. Even in varsity, it was part of the thinking process.
I've given Lloyd just a bunch of magazines, and I said to him, please can you give me a theme for this shoot? And the star that I said to him was Nomzamo, so basically he had to work with her personality as well and find something that would suit her, suit the magazine, and then just pitch the idea to me.
My motivation for choosing the African theme was because this cover star, well, the lady for our cover star, she's seen as a Zulu princess. That's how she's portrayed within the media, so I went with that sort of theme that people know her for.
Layout designers don't always come on shoots, but often if I'm busy, I'll send a designer and say, listen, you just need to check that everything's going okay. Maybe help out whoever's doing the shoot just to make sure that they've got the right angles and really to make sure that the look and feel is correct for the story.
Where I get my inspiration from is magazine, music sometimes. Sometimes it could be like an event that happens. Maybe I could be walking on the street or something might happen and it could just spark an idea out of it. So it can happen anywhere, and it doesn't have how can I say, like a set time frame when your thinking process could be working. So it's one of those random things.
I think as a designer, you're not always happy with what you've created because it's not all about you. You have to do what the editor wants, you have to do what the writer wants. So it's that balance of finding, something that works for everyone. That's quite difficult. But I think most days you look at your work and you're really happy because if you put in a lot of effort, seeing it in print and on magazine shelves really just makes you feel proud.
Excuse me, Nikita. I think I'm done with my task over here. Can you please, evaluate?
Okay, cool. Will you run through the concept for me?
Okay. Since we're doing this lady called Nomzamo, she has this image of being like a Zulu queen, like on television.
Yeah.
So I went with the whole obvious look of with the whole Zulu thing with like colored beads and just showing like the what Zulu attire that could really suit her her image. That's what I went.
And what do you envision for the actual cover?
I see her in a very flowy dresses, but with not really going strictly hardcore Zulu attire. Just focusing more on
accessories,
accessories,
things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And what sort of location would you shoot it at?
I'll probably go for sort of an outdoor-ish. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a really cool theme.
Yeah.
Thanks. So for task 2, I think Lloyd did really well because he had a strong concept. He thought about the fashion, he thought about the accessories, and even the location. He didn't just think, oh, let's just do black and white. He actually went more in depth, so I was pretty happy with his work.
Lloyd o fumane concept ka ho ba aware le go bana le elehloko. O kgonne go etsa seo hobane ana le experience e a ifumaneng bophelong ba hae e mo ahileng. Mahaslas, hore le wena o atlehe bophelong kapa career ya hao o lokela go ithata. Ene o etsa seo ka go ikaha ka thuto, bokgoni le tsebo ka se o batlang ho ba sona bophelong. Hopola hore se o batlang ho ba sona bophelong se o le sona tje ka ha o belegwe ka sona. Ke fela go se latela. Ha re khutla ka mora papatso ke task e nngwe fela e emeng pele ha Lloyd le bokamoso ba hae le bona. Mac yena o utulla karabo ya rona ya iSpani Q. Ha re kopane ka mora sena.
Hustlers, yabona ke abantu abama layout artists bafethu banendima ebaleka kakhulu ke abayidlala khona lapha kweze media. Baqaleke ngeprint bafethu ukusebenza ngamaphepha kanje nama magazine. Kwashintsha izinto ke kwangena ama computer kwaba digital media bafethu. Sokusikhathi ukuthi manje bayibhanqe zombili lezi zinto sibone ukuthi kuyophuma into enjani. Ngithi ngaphambi kwalokho ke awuthi ngikhumbuza ukuthi iSpani Q sethu sime kanjani. Ngithi umbuzo wethu uhamba kanje. How many months in a year have 28 days? How many months in a year have 28 days? Ngithi you don't have the whole day bafethu ukuthi nisithumele impendulo zenu. So send us your tweets right now. Khona manje asami sobona uLloyd ayenza into adume ngazo.
Okay, Lloyd, what we do often is these behind-the-scenes videos, like very short promos, just to really get readers interested in the issue that's coming up. So I need a 30-second promo, just with some shots from the just from the shoot, and have some text saying Bona behind the scenes, Nomzamo, and just really excite the reader about the issue. So we've got some footage here, put some punchy music, and just make it fun. Just let me know. I know it's not a usual thing to do in Photoshop, but if you have any questions, let me know. There's also a list of tips on the repository. So just let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thanks.
When Nikita told me about the video editing task, I found it as a challenge. I haven't really gotten into depth on that matter. Still in the process of learning stuff, but I understand the concept. But I'm always up for trying new things and giving it a go.
It's really important to just keep learning if you're a designer, because you're always getting new programs, you're getting new ways of doing things, and you have to keep up to date if you want to still be employable and you still want to just produce your best work. So I would say never stop learning, always keep learning different skills. With the first task, which was a layout, after he's designed it, I would just double check everything's there, and then we'd give it to our editor, and she would then approve the design, and we take it back to the sub editors, and they would just give it a final look over, and then we'd send it to translators. So it's quite a lengthy process after it's left the designers. For the second task, which was the mood board, we generally have a meeting, the designers, the art director, and the editor, and we all discuss the theme, because it needs to just be universal, really needs to speak to our readers, and our editor is the best person for that. So we pitch our ideas, and then she's the one that, really we all discuss, and she says yes or no, because she's the boss. Lloyd is actually quite talented. He has, logo background, so he's very good with Illustrator and drawing. So I think he's very, very creative and talented. I think he's sometimes a little bit reserved with his work. He's a little bit quiet, and with his work, sometimes he's on the safe side, but definitely he is gonna fit in really well. Because he's obviously hardworking, and he has the abilities to keep up with our deadlines and to keep up with our team. I gave Lloyd some video footage, and I said he needs to make a 30-second promo for Bona and for the shoot, and because she would be our cover girl. So it's just really to advertise the magazine online. So it's not a usual request for a designer, but the thing is, in this digital age, you really need to learn how to improve your skills and really apply it everywhere. So he hasn't really done it a lot before, but I think he did really well.
In terms of task 3, I think I didn't really do that well. I think if I had more time, probably that could have aided me, and also it could have enabled me to work on the project in a more better way. So.
Kushubile mbovu ndoda yabona laba basebenzisana nabo khona la kuSpani bafethu lapha na ku-editing department, ngithi bathukile bafethu, they are shaking in their boots njengoba ke uLloyd abakhombisile umsebenzi ushawa kanjani. Ngithi bafethu ake ninyuse namasokisi bafethu nophelela umsebenzi sinaqasha abo Lloyd, nami ke awuthi ngiqede ngeSpani Q bafethu nginikeze impendulo. Umbuzo bohamba kanje, ngithi how many months in a year have 28 days, and the answer is all the months have 28 days bafethu. Some have more, but none have less. So shalini izandla lapha ekhaya, because khona ke abakhalekhele abayitholile. Ngithi bafethu, it's been a long day. Ngithi asathe ikhefu, so masibuya emva kwekhefu sibone ukuthi ngabe ke abantu basebona bayambona ke uLloyd.
So Nikita, how did it go today? Tell me how Lloyd's performance was.
Well, I think in terms of the tasks, he did really well. I think he did everything that I asked him to do, so all the criteria was met. I think in terms of creativity, he's got so much potential, but I think that once we let him, really say to him we can do what he wants, then he'll really blow us away.
Thank you so much for partaking in all the tasks we had for you today. I've spoken with Nikita and we are both very happy with the results that we saw today. Obviously there's going to be some areas where we'll need to tweak and give you some training on, but in terms of your layout abilities and your creativity, we're very happy with that. We felt that you had a good eye and you definitely display the potential that we're looking for in this position. So with that said, we would like to offer you a full-time job as a layout artist at Bona Magazine.
Wow. Thank you. I'm out of words, but yeah.
Congratulations. I really think that you really impressed us, and so that's why for us it was a no-brainer, really. Just to talk a little bit about the job and what's expected. Of course, in this job, you will be reporting to the art director. She will be the one who will, divide the work between you and the other designer in the team. Our working hours, we work between 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock, with a lunch break, of course. In terms of the culture at Bona Magazine, we're a very laid-back team. We promote a very positive working environment here. I really do think you will like it. You'll get to know some of the team members quite closely, and we meet quite regularly, and the whole team is involved in the content creation process. I believe that it's just very important. Even if you are a designer, it doesn't mean you don't have good content ideas. So you'll also be expected to sort of think about those things as you plan and design the magazine. So, just be on the lookout for that. At this point, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask me?
When do I begin? I can't wait.
Well, pretty much the space is vacant, so you can begin right away. So I'm happy for you to start as soon as you're able to.
Okay. Ready to do so then.
Okay. And I think, in terms of the growth opportunities in a position like this, I think that the world of design as a whole really has sort of exploded in South Africa. So when you think about where you're going to move in terms of your trajectory, becoming a designer, you're obviously going to go through all the various levels from junior to mid-level and senior. Ultimately, the goal in the design field is to become an art director, where you really are, making a lot of the creative decisions in terms of how the magazine looks and feels. And but we're very open to opinions and suggestions in the magazine. So it's not to say that in your current position as a layout artist, you wouldn't be able to voice opinions and suggest changes. We're very open to that sort of thing. But that's ultimately where I would seek to move you as you grow and develop in this position. I think that there's so much in the realm of media and magazines, and particularly where there's opportunities for growth and development. Of course, we are in the print and digital space, so there's always that to keep in mind as well. When I think about my trajectory in the industry as well, it's, I started as an editorial assistant, was my first job. And, you move up, and I think that when you're in the editorial space, you kind of have to decide what your focus is going to be. And ultimately, that's how I ended up choosing magazine writing. And, moved and became a feature writer and ultimately an editor. But, obviously my role is across the board. I'm in charge of, the look and feel of the magazine, brand custodian, if you want to call it that. But it's a very rewarding job. And I think that the magazine industry as a whole is a very rewarding industry if you have a passion for words, if you have a passion for visuals, and a passion for reaching out and touching people. Because I think that when you work for a magazine like Bona, it's been around for such a long time. We're nearly 60 years old now. People trust the magazine, and we always give them resources and tools for them to live their lives and answer questions that they have in their lives, and they need solutions. So that's how I think of the magazine. We provide solutions to our readers, and that's most important, and I think you should just hold on to that and keep that in mind. Always visualize who you're talking to or designing for when you are putting your pages together. So I wish you all the best, and I think you will be great, and I look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to showcase my skills and whatever I can do.
Welcome to the team.
Thanks. Hi everybody, my day is done. I did all my tasks to my best ability. I'm very happy that I accomplished everything. I got the job. It's very exciting. And I just wanted to say to everybody out there, never stop believing in your dreams and keep on pushing. As they say, pressure, pusher, pan.
Well done, Loyalty. Bari thuto ha ina bofelo empa hona le mo e qalang teng. Ke kgale ntse o nyulohela. Sena ke sa hao sebaka sa hore o theohele. Potso ya rona bekeng ena e tswa go Simphiwe. A re ke kgale a batlana le mesebetsi ya entry level empa ba batla experience. Simphiwe, ho fumana tseo kaofela, batlisisa ka di-apprenticeship tse di fumanehang ko corporate kapa manufacturing. Checka di-learnership le di-internship. Dilo tseo kaofela di tla o neya bokgoni le tsebo le experience e o e hlokang hore o kgone go di kenya ka hare ho CV. Ha e ka ba gona le ho sa o fumanang, hopola o checkela Facebook kapa website ya rona ene re romeleng tsa lona dipotso.
We started from the basement, now we're on top of skyscrapers. At the top, you can take your physical challenge, manage it, and excel in life. Excel, until next week, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. And also you can catch us on YouTube, and you can watch us over and over and over again. Until then, press that push up panda. Remember, don't look down. I'm way up, I feel good. Get to look up and stay up.